What's up, Nintendo fans? YXBA is back, and I'm ready to mash some more buttons.
Tiger uppercut! Shoryuken!
Just a quick reminder that we have a Splatoon giveaway coming up for the Wii U, and all you gotta do is click on the link in the description below and leave a comment and subscribe. There's some interesting new rumors about the NX system and its capabilities. However, those rumors come from Dual Pixels from a source named Gino. Gino. Where do I begin talking about Gino? Gino has been right about some things and he has been wrong about some things, and typically speaks very vaguely about his leaks, which leaves him a lot of room to possibly be right, but even then, sometimes he's been completely wrong. So, you can take this pretty much with a grain of salt. In fact, NeoGAF has a long-standing ban on any new threads featuring rumors from Dual Pixels. So I think that tells you everything you need to know about Dual Pixel rumors. For the purpose of the next part of this video, I'm going to assume that the rumors are 100% true, even though I have serious reservations about that. Number 1, it has a wireless HDMI dongle that attaches flush to the back of the device. A user can pull it out and insert it into any display with a normal size HDMI output, and the devices use an evolved version of the Wii U's streaming tech to display in HD to the TV screen. What I find interesting about this immediately is it refers to not the device, but devices, which tells me that, at least in this rumor, the NX has a wide variety of devices, or at least more than one device, in the product family. I think this also implies that what we're looking at here is a handheld-based device, almost like a Wii U gamepad, but it has the entire system built into that. Because when you think about it, what would be the point of using this expensive wireless tech unless they're going to actually be able to eliminate the hassle of setting up a box underneath your television and plugging it into the wall and then plugging it into the TV? You don't really save much effort by just having the HDMI part of it being wireless if you still have to plug it into the wall. Number 2, allegedly the analog controls for movement have small motors in them for full haptic feedback, meaning if you control a character and hit a wall, the sticks move away from the direction of the wall to simulate running head first into it. This can also be used for jerking when firing a gun, taking damage, moving over rough terrain, etc. This sounds like a pretty cool feature. I think that it definitely would add an extra layer of immersion to gaming and could likely be something that becomes a standard industry-wide. Personally, I'm more excited about the patent that talks about scrollable shoulder buttons. There's no mention of that in this rumor. I think that would be something that's more impactful to our overall gaming experience, but this is definitely a nice feature and adds another layer of interactivity, but it's not something that really blows me away. Number 3, it can literally Bluetooth sync with everything, especially smartphone and tablets, to the point where one feature is that it can answer phone calls and display text messages from your phone onto the screens itself, so you don't have to stop and answer your smart device. This is really cool. I mean, to me it gets to be a little bit ridiculous sometimes with all the different devices when I'm playing a game. It's kind of annoying to have to pause the game and then put down the controller, pick up your phone to answer a text. This is a feature that would definitely be in sync with the times. I think some people would not like this feature because when they're playing video games they kind of like to shut off the outside world and get immersed in it, but obviously this would be an optional feature. Number 4, the closest in terms of power it gets to is the Xbox One, but an app idea is Wii U times 50 and PlayStation Vita times 100. The key is that all the tech is exactly the same hardware layout as the PS4 and Xbox One, which can combine it with the OS's strong emulation functions, and compiler means that any game that can run on a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One can easily run on the NX with near zero modification to the original source code, especially if it runs on Android OS or Unreal 4. This is allegedly why Nintendo has given out the dev kits so late. As one third party puts it, it's the easiest device we've ever developed for. You just take your code, compile it, and it works. I mean, one of the reasons why I don't value this rumor very much is the part where it says it's times 50 of the Wii U and times 100 of the Vita. I would believe it if it said times 5 of the Wii U. I believe that the Xbox One is approximately 4 times as powerful as the Wii U. So if it was times 50, that's just ridiculous, okay? That ain't happening. So it's a little bit confusing there. Maybe it was a typo. I noticed that in this report there were a lot of misplaced words, and spelling mistakes and that sort of thing. So maybe this is just a typo, but if it was, they typoed after the Wii U and after the Vita. The main takeaway here is that they're suggesting it's similar to the Xbox One. They said the closest it gets is to the Xbox One. So I think that they're really insinuating here is that it's actually slightly weaker than the Xbox One, but closer to the Xbox One in power than to the Wii U. Which, I mean, if this rumor is accurate, it doesn't really bother me that much, because if it's able to easily port PS4 games over to it with being really super efficient to do so, and there's not going to be much of a graphical drop-off, then I don't think the power really matters that much. The key is that this is going to be a system that is very easy to port games to, no matter what they do. I think that's ultimately the most important thing. It's more important than being super powerful. Number 5, look at Pokemon Go to get an idea of the type of social features that will be in the NX that will take multiplayer AR and the Street Pass concept to a whole new level. I mean, Pokemon Go isn't even out yet, so I haven't been able to really go in depth with it to truly understand what this reference would even mean, but I think that maybe what you would read into this is that through your My Nintendo account, also available on your smartphones, there will be a lot of Street Pass type features integrated into My Nintendo via your smartphone into your console as well. Personally, that's not something that really gets me super excited. I just want your standard online features that every other platform has, like Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. I just want to be able to very quickly message my friends, send game invites, and something will pop up on their screen no matter what game they're playing, and they can respond to it. I want to be able to get into party chat, things of that nature. But of course, if they do go above and beyond that, that would be great as well. But I just want to make sure that we have those core features, because a lot of the third-party games are really built with those features in mind. So I think that Nintendo has to incorporate those features into the NX. At number 6, the real strength of the device is its usability and ease of use. Developers have described to me more than once that it visually and functionally looks as if Samsung and the 2DS had a baby, in that it looks friendly, but unlike what most people who visualize a Nintendo device to typically look. The operating system, named Nintendo OS, alone is very powerful and has so many modern features of mobile operating systems today that Nintendo is trying to be very careful in showing it off for fear that it would be mistaken as Android. It also has a very strong networking functions as it ties into multiple devices and services, allowing a very competent and pervasive ecosystem designed to constantly involve the consumers' lives. Yeah, this part gets a little weird. Saying that it's like a baby that Samsung and the 2DS had put some really weird images in my head, but it also doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It seems like they're really talking about the operating system here, but by saying specifically the 2DS and not the 3DS or the DS, it makes me think that they're talking about the way the system looks, which implies again that this is a handheld based system, but I just don't get the reference to 2DS. Like, are they honestly suggesting that it's basically like a 2DS where it doesn't fold closed but it has two screens on it? That's a little weird. So overall, I feel like this rumor is saying that we're going to get a system that is a console built into a handheld device. You'll be able to wirelessly and easily stream the visuals onto your television set. You'll likely also be able to hook up additional controllers to it, although who knows where they're going with that. Maybe there's going to be a cheaper handheld offering that syncs together with this machine, and that's how you are able to have multiplayer gaming in a single living room. I mean, it could be actually a really cool thing overall. It could get a little bit pricey though, coming out with a handheld system that is roughly on par with the Xbox One in terms of power, and also has, like a significant sized hard drive. And also the streaming tech in the Wii U is already known for being the most expensive component to the Wii U gamepad, and having an even more advanced version of that is only going to add to the cost. So it's going to be pretty expensive if this rumor is true. But once again, you can take this whole thing with a grain of salt. It doesn't come from a particularly reliable source. It's filled with weird information and sentences that are not grammatically correct. It just feels like somebody is trying to take all the tidbits of information that Nintendo has spoken about and come up with something plausible, but I'm not buying what these guys are selling. So leave your comments below, and I look forward to hearing whether you do agree with me or whether you don't agree with me, and looking forward to talking to you guys. This has been Colin Unger, reminding you to keep your thumbs glued to YXBA, and always remember to select Start. If you enjoyed this video, click like and subscribe.